Hello everyone, my name is Promise Odira Onu. Today we are looking at transactional politics. Transactional politics and what are the best practices in curbing transactional politics. What is the best practice in making sure that we curb transactional politics and the dangers of people that engage in transactional politics not getting any consequences. What are the dangers to the polity? What are the dangers to democracy? What is transactional politics? Transactional politics is where people exchange money for political support, endorsement, or influence rather than ideas or rather than value. It's a society killer. It's what we people call corruption. It's actually the beginning and ending of corruption. When our leaders are being bought over, when our leaders don't have conscience. You see, our society have so damaged to the point that money controls everybody. There used to be a time where you know people could stand on the truth, no matter how much you have. We used to have a society and a culture whereby elders will always tell you, no matter how much you have, I will not lie against the people. I will not stand on what is wrong. Because people believe that, you know, they must do what is right, otherwise they will pay the ultimate price. But I don't know if it is Christianity or if it is the westernization or civilization that have caused us to sort of water down our high moral values to the point that anybody could lie for anyone. And the dangers of this is that young people who are coming up, some of them who are in the camps of these corrupt politicians and what have you, are learning these things. And they're going to hold on to it as the model they are going to practice in the future. Thereby, what we are passing down to our children is a very, very bad system of life or way of life. Uh, there was a time, when lying is something abominable. When people have to be honest enough, when you applaud, when you are compensated for being truthful. Yes, a few people when they found money in their taxis or bag of money at their workplace or any amount of money that is not theirs in the account, they return it. Few people still do it. But majority of the society will tell you, oh, that person is stupid. They've lost the opportunity. So you find out that the society is moving more towards financial gains than moral value or moral standing. So anything you are doing now, as far as you have money, people will look at you and, clap for you. And in turn, those that have that money will use it to oppress those that don't. So everything now revolves around wealth, and most of the times, illicit wealth. So what is transactional politics? Transactional politics is what they call, sometimes they call it horse trading, and you will think there is a better definition of it. It's more or less, making allies and in politics they say there is no permanent enemy or there is no permanent friend. Sometimes it's all about I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. If you help me to get into office, I will allow you to get some contracts and or whatnot. I'll give you a position. If you support me to become the president. If you support me in this regard, I will make you my ADC or I will make you my cabinet. And because of this, people become partners in crime. Not because they have a genuine mindset towards the country, or because they really want to help the people, or because they see leadership skill in that particular person, or because they know this person means well for the people, just that it favors them. So the politics that we play, especially in Nigeria, is is dangerous and detrimental to growth. And the evidence is saying that Nigeria is very underdeveloped, poverty stricken, and retrogressive in nature. As I'm speaking to you, Sudanese our Nigerian students in Sudan are still yet to be, to be returned to the country. There's all these force on television that they know what they are doing, but they don't even have Egypt visa, so they are not allowed entry into Egypt. So how are they going to be returned? Even though a private airline has said they will bring them back, because people are just busy talking without doing the works. I know it's not an easy situation. Don't get me wrong. But all I'm trying to say is we're in a situation whereby people are not paying attention to the general good. Once you are only focused on your pocket and your selfish interest, then you shouldn't be in politics. Because what politics mean is the people, it's the science of the people. It's about people. Politics is about, a community. Democracy is supposed to be, for the people, by the people, and of the people, for the people. So everything is around the people. So when you make it a personal affair, or you put your personal gains above the people's gain, or the people affairs, then you've defeated the purpose of democracy. And this is why, if there is no system in place to check and balance this transactional politics and curb this menace in the society, especially with the political class, we should know the civilians or sorry, I shouldn't say civilians, we should know the people in the lower class or the people who are not in the political class cannot really influence. They cannot control these people. If there is no system to checkmate them at that high level, then we're in a danger of having it stay or exist in our political spheres for a very long time, which is exactly what we are saying. Unless these people fall out with each other or make friends with enemies camp, and then they start talking about the evil plans they made in the past, sometimes you don't even get to know what they have agreed. And most times, politics is a very dirty game. Nobody knows who is going to hold their back or stab them or whatever. But then when you look at other crimes, because this page is all about best practices today, anywhere in the world, there's a reason why some countries make corruption, the consequences of corruption to be the ultimate prize. There's a reason why some countries do that. It's deterrence. Is to make sure people look at it and say, okay, no, this is not worth me taking my life or losing my life for. But in a country or in a place whereby you can do some things and get away with it, or even be celebrated, right? You find out that people will continue to engage in those kind of things. But if people are paying the ultimate price, or at least going to jail for corruption, for finding wanting, or for doing some things that are shady, then it will become a deterrence for those that are thinking of doing it. Most ex-presidents of Nigeria have immunity. They can't be tried. Yeah. Once you finish as presidency, whatever you did is welcomed. You go in and you go to your official whatever, and enjoy your immunity, and also enjoy your pension package and everything. So nobody, can take you to court. Nobody can question your policies or whatever you did wrong or your corruption or whatever. But then we can see what is going on with Trump. I'm not in support of what is happening in America, but at least that's an indication that an ex-president can still be answerable to the judiciary. Of course, they didn't find anything on the man, so now they're just using payments to whatever person to hold against him, which we know doesn't hold water. Initially, they've made so many accusations on the man, which didn't gain anything. But I'm not here to talk about America or to dwell. The point I wanted to make is that even in America, where we are learning our democracy for, the ex-presidents are still liable to the judiciary. And that itself is a deterrence. It deters politicians to know that no matter, even if you're at the highest office, you can still go to prison. You can still be held accountable for what you did while in office. In the UK here, they don't even, their own tolerance level is like you are resigning immediately. And somebody have to make you resign. Don't think that it is all wishful thinking, that they will fight to get into office and then want to resign. No. People without you knowing, there are some people without you knowing what is happening in the open that make them resign. That tell them, listen, this is not our standard. You've performed below standard. This is not about politics. This is not about party. You have to have a level of conscious, intentional transparency and good character to be able to run for office. It's not about politicking. It's not about horse trading of money or corruption or whatever. No. You must be of ideas. You must be somebody of good standing. You must pay your taxes. You must come clean to be able to rule the people. And that's been their standard, regardless of your ethnicity, your religion, your color, or whatever. Right? And that's why you have somebody of an Indian descent, although British as well, as their prime minister, mayor of London. Same thing, a foreigner. Are they delivering? Yes, they're delivering. And you have a stable society. Everybody's happy. Everybody's fine. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? That's how to know a society that is civilized. The former prime minister is still going to court, Boris Johnson. And that's a deterrence to whoever is there now. If we can do this to our English brother, is this Rishi Sunak that is going to mess up? They will hammer him down. So why am I saying this? You come to Nigeria, look at our ex-presidents, and look at the evil. I mean, talking about the ones that are alive, from IBB to Abdul Salam, to Obasanjo, to the likes of them. Good luck. Who has probed them? I'm not saying go after them, but at the same time, there's no deterrence. So whoever is president knows he's almost getting away with anything he does. All he can do is ask for pardon on his way out. You commit all crime you want to commit, and at the end of the 7 years, ask for pardon and bow out. So we're in a big issue here. Make appointments to be lopsided, practice nepotism, ignore a section of the country. Just do whatever you like. You are for the 90% and not for the 0%. These people are a dot in a circle. And then claim you are the president of Nigeria. And then you have immunity. So these things will encourage the aspiring presidents or presidential candidates to know that when they get in there, they are tyrants, more or less. They are above the law. They can do whatever they want. They can go elsewhere and stay for 8 months for medical tourism and then refuse to hand over power to the acting president or the vice president. So we are in this kind of situation whereby we know what is right, but we reject what is right. We want to keep doing what is wrong. And there are no dangers to it. Go and check the profile of... EFCC was created to sort of go after these high-profile cases. Cases that are above 500 million or so, if I'm not mistaken. But go and check, what they've been doing. It's always low-profile, forgotten people. They don't go to the key people. Somebody's supposed to be on Attorney General's case now. The Senate are inviting them. They're not doing anything. We're talking about millions of oil barrels missing, the oil theft. Nobody is talking about, there is no arrest, nothing. Because nobody wants to be on the wrong side of the people in power. And probably they are all stains, all hands are stained, they are all part of the crime. And the good thing with people that, I wouldn't say the good thing, the thing with those that are in these crimes, they share the money. And why they share the money is because they know attack can come from any quarter. So they send the one they will send to military, send the one they will send to a police, send the one, just have representative that will cover them from anywhere, send the one they will send to judiciary. So whoever wants to raise their ugly heads, if it's in judiciary, their colleague in judiciary there will help to downs the issue. If it's police, their money, of course they go with the top people. If it's police, their money, the police will query it, very, very quickly. So we're in that situation whereby, because there is no deterrence to all this transactional politics, we're in a situation whereby the same evil people or evil leaders or the cabals keep running the country the way they like, and their system is a very efficient system. And that's why they can come out and tell you openly, Labour Party will come a distant third, and they will come a distant third, because they know it is not your Peter Obi's canvassing for votes all around the country that determines. It's them. They run the system. They decide who's going to be president. So at the end of the day, the president gets in, share the money, and all is well and good. They don't care about the people. And there is no deterrence to this. And the heightened one we see now is the emergence of the professors into the field proper. So now professors as the Rex are now part of the main cabals as we speak. So if you're a vice chancellor now, you have to play your game to be one of the INEX Rex, and once you are there, you know what is, I asked a question in church. I said, how many of you, if you are giving 2 billion, will not do what any of these Rex did? I mean, apart from, out of the 36 and FCT Rex, the only one we know that rejected the 2 billion offered to her was Professor Nen of Abia State. And you can see how the whole Abia State were all jumping and happy, feeling liberated. Now, apart from and she said it openly to the national television, that they tried their best, they attacked her, she held her ground. She said no. They offered her money, she said no. Right? So it's not like an accusation, allegation. It's confirmed. They approached her. Right? And we know these things happened in the other states. So apart from her, if you are the one that was offered 2 billion, do you know what somebody said? Somebody said 2 billion is even small. We are trying to convert 2 billion to pounds, and it was like 2 million pounds or 3 million pounds. If you are giving 1 million pounds self to call APC the winner of a particular state, will you say no? So if you can't have people of high moral value, it becomes extremely difficult to be able to have people that can turn down such amounts of money. We're talking about a lot of money here. How many people? You think about the cars you can buy with that kind of money, how you can quickly solve all your debts, how you can easily fly to any country of your choice, how things you can, and you be like, what do I even need this? Why is this thing so important to this man? Come and give me the money, Jerry. And this thing, they are not even promising you. They have cash there. They offer with cash. You see the bag of money, and they will tell you are protected. We'll give you this money, do the needful, call us. That's why you have the man from Adamawa do what he did. He didn't even wait for our road. He was such in a hurry to grab up to that money. So we look at our society, you look at conversations going on, everybody is talking about designer clothes, everybody is talking about money, everybody is talking about acquiring this, acquiring that. At the end of the day, I don't care what you really want to do or enjoy with all this wealth. But again, you need to ask yourself a simple question. What is in it for you and for your children, and again the larger society? Because if you are to think about just yourself, you find out that you failed your people, you failed the community. This is supposed to be our commonwealth. A whole state have spoken and said this is the leader we want. That should be undebatable. That should be sacrosanct. That should be a unanimous decision that nobody should alter for any price at all, even if it means dying for the people. And that's why you have countries die for their countries. You have people die for their countries because they know their votes will count, because they know there are processes that are going to be respected, and those people that are being voted for are still subject to the judiciary. But then when you have people that will tell you, oh, look at this car is worth this and that, and they're not thinking that in the next 100 years that car will be seen as nonsense. There was a time all these cars were, there are cars back in the day that if you see now, you look at it and say, oh, that's how technology come out every day. If you build a house now, it's so nice, but then after some years, somebody will look at the house and be like, oh, this is old model. So anything materialistic is nonsense, not for you to sell your conscience. If you call politicians in Nigeria, for example, there are names that will resonate with the people. In Nigeria, there are names that you will call and everybody will say he's a good man. A good name is always better than money, as the Igbo adage says. So we shouldn't throw away our societal values because we want to appear correct or appear nice to these political people who are very, very ready to pay any amount of money. Now ask yourself, why are they willing to pay 2 billion per state? Because they know the money they will steal is more than that 2 billion. And the people they will push to poverty, people that will die out of poverty, are more worth than 2 billion. But because we don't reason, we don't see the children that will die out of poverty, we don't see the people that will die out of poverty, we don't see people who are homeless because of wrong policies, we don't see people who will die because of wrong policies, and all we are concerned about is because of the illicit wealth that is going to be given to us. And it doesn't stop there. Once you are partaker of that illicit wealth, you become an accomplice. Do you understand? And once you become an accomplice, they can hold it against you. They can even kill you if they think you're going to talk. So we have to be extremely careful when it comes to politics. You shouldn't sell your soul to the devil for anything. You should be able to hold your ground, stand your ground, and do what is right. So thank you to that youth corper who in that world have refused to do anything wrong, but do what he has asked to be done. So thank you to that lecturer or to that rec who has not done anything wrong, but stood on her conscience or his conscience. Now thank you to all these INEC officials who are still good people. Now thank you to all the party agents who are still good people. Thank you to all the political party members who are still good people. Posterity will be kind, but more so, your consciousness and your God shall also note of your what? Your dealings. There are people who helped to get Buhari in power. What they come out and say is that, oh, I regret. It's not only regret. You lived with it. You suffered in the same country. You looked for naira in the same country. You had fuel scarcity in the same country. People died, their blood is on your head. Because we have refused to do the right thing in the society. We are supposed to go back to our society. A society where wealth or ritual money or money that cannot be explained is not respected or wanted. We need to go back to a society where we don't just praise money and praise materialism. So I go to some Instagram lives and I'm asking myself, if all these people on these lives, on this IG live or Facebook live, if all these people are Chinese, will the conversation be the same? This is the simple question I ask myself. When you go to our life and you see Nigerians engage in very stupid discussions, I ask myself, if all the people in this life are Chinese, will the conversation be the same? We are often talking about nonsense, gossip, rubbish sexual talks, as if we are the only people in the world that practice. Oyibo practice the thing even better than us. But you will hardly see them engage their time in nonsense discussions. We're supposed to be engaged our time in things that help the society to move forward. You need to see how these people hold their society. You're a prime minister in Canada, they will be dragging you, making sure they get the best out of you, pushing you under scrutiny. A society that is already working on any single policy, they will make sure they put pressure and make sure you are doing the right thing. Nigeria, even you that is saying something wrong, if Tinubu should appear to you now and say, or you hear Tinubu is passing, will you also continue saying, this man, you're a bad man? If APC should approach you and give you money and say, come and do this for you, are you going to turn it down? That's why you look at Festus Keyamo. These are the people that used to supposedly speak up for democracy. FFK, if the same person fighting Buhari is now joining them. Because when these powers that be approach them, they find themselves crumbling because their foundation is not really strong on anything. Their core values are not really strong on anything. They are speaking them because they see themselves as opposition. But when they get approached, you find out that their foundation is weak. There are men. We used to pride ourselves back in the day of coming from a society that men, even how poor they are, you talk about the Omon now, the Omoada, these are very strong societal, people of high repute. If there are cases, you take it to these people. No matter how poor you think those men are, you cannot manipulate them. You want to come back and you want to drag somebody's land and they report you to the Omona. The Omona will tell you, this person, this is their land. I know their father, their grandfather. And they will tell you, if you want to buy land, you have money, go elsewhere. But we started losing our society whereby somebody can come back from Lagos with money and was able to manipulate 2 or 3 Umonas, or you want to be an Igwe and it's not your turn or it's not from your clan, and you can manipulate the Igwe maker, the king maker. And you can manipulate the chief priest and even turn things around, and then you become Igwe. That is when we started losing our society. Because some people became corruptible. And then they started turning the values upside down. But there was a time you can take pride that any matter you take to the Umona, the Umuada, they will stand on the right thing. Even if it is their brother that was wrong. They will tell their brother, you are wrong, do the right thing. And if you're not satisfied, it goes to the Igwe. The Igwe's cabinet, you are very sure, will stand on the truth. But these days, what you have is Igwe's under the government. So an Igwe now, we have to go to government house. A governor will now declare who is an Igwe. A monarch system that's supposed to be, the power of the monarch supposed to be, of course, there's many monarchs in the state, but you're supposed to be more than a state government that, of course, was elected. Your own is bloodline, royalty. But now these days, they have to, do what the state government wants. So somebody will now go and make friends with the state government so he can be given an Igwe. And then he will get a jeep and get called to the government house on few occasions to come and collect brown envelopes. So we're in a society that everything have just been staggered and everything is just going upside down. Transactional politics. So if anybody wants to be governor, he will go to some markets, look at the leaders, and make friends with few leaders of few markets. Those ones will control the markets. They go to the people of influence, get and buy their minds. Before you know it, everybody will say this is the person we want, just for transaction. You probably made promise, I will give you this, give you that. Not I will come and develop your market. Not I will come and build road for you guys. You are supposed to come out in the open and promise the people and not make promises to the leaders of those people. That's what you call transactional politics. And in our system, we do not have a way of checkmating these things. That's why there is a danger that it will continue as the normal practice. Upcoming political people or people who are politically inclined don't know whether to do the truth or to follow the statu quo. Because the truth is not popular. But elsewhere, we know the truth is what is working. In the UK, for example. In the US, for example. In Germany, for example. When a woman can be vice chancellor, do her duties very well, and another man can come out and be vice chancellor. In America, Bill Clinton was there. She was nearly becoming a president before she lost to Trump. In the UK here, you've got Theresa May. She was very well as the prime minister, and now you have a man. That is what we are saying. Level playing field. Everybody bring your ideas. If your ideas are good enough, we'll support you. Well, I think the constitution, due to democracy, made the monarch system. I don't get that. Explain better. The monarch system has been the traditional way we have been living our lives from time immemorial. From time immemorial. Under the state government of any state. Well, that's what the constitution is making it look like now. But then normally, you've got the monarch system as their own separate. See, for you to control a people, you need to have the clergymen, the monarch, and the elite, which are the rich people controlling the economy. The monarch will make sure there is a justice system. The clergy will talk about morality. So those are the three people you need to control a society: the monarch, the clergymen, and then the elite. So when you now put the monarch under the government that is rotated every 4 years, you've damaged the system. That's what I was asking. If you want to trust somebody now with money, if you want to trust somebody with a particular situation, if you want to call somebody to be a judge in a particular issue and say, okay, this person, no matter how much they offer that person, they will not be able to do what is wrong, who will you call? Will you call police? Or will you call a Nigerian justice? Or will you call a Nigerian lawyer? Or will you call a Nigerian INEC official? Or will you call a Nigerian government official? Or will you call your teacher in school? Or will you call a professor? So you find out that will you even call your pastor or your imam? You will find out that if you put this on a pool, people will probably go with different people. Even if you say, will you call your own papa or your own mama? We're talking about somebody who cannot be bought with money. So our society have lost it. But there was a time where anybody, once you cross a particular year, you see gray hair on your head, they are respected as elders. Whether they are cycling their bicycle, once they tell you something in the village, that is final. They won't go back. They are people of good moral, good standard. Our societal values was strong. Back in the day, you won't see all these kind of music videos where seeing Nigerians getting naked on the TV. Our culture has been watered down, and now rubbished. We've lost it. So how can we be looking at the political scene and we are seeing transactional politics? Look at the primaries. There was dollar everywhere. Openly. No arrest, no investigation, no nothing. It's now the norm. It goes to the highest bidder. People's conscience are being bought. Because you are looking there, you are saying you are a delegate. No, I have my candidate. I won't accept money. Your friend accepts dollar. Another one accept dollar. The one in front accept dollar. The one behind accept dollar. And you're looking at yourself, am I going to be the only one? And the next time, this one orders a car and is enjoying. So we're in a situation whereby, it's either you beat them or you join them. And the poverty in the land is making it easy for people to even budge. Because here in this system, at least you're not going to be hungry. You're not going to be homeless. You're not going to go without, all you need to do is work. Do you understand? So you don't really necessarily need to rely on anybody's political promise. Your life is secure. If you call 111 service or if you call ambulance, they're not going to check who is calling. They're just going to come to your aid. Our constitution is so rubbish that even with all the allegations against Tinubu, they said yes, he's still the perfect man for power. For the number one office. Elsewhere, you dare not have it as an ex-president. You dare not. You pay the ultimate price. You go to prison. They scrutinize. Do you know how many times they've been scrutinizing Trump? Do you know how many times they've been investigating while he's even in office? They are proper investigating him. In this country, how many prime ministers have we had in how many years? This woman came there 2 weeks. She resigned. Hot seat. You don't joke with the number one. These are where you have the highest intelligence report. You can't be somebody that is of a compromising character. How can people trust your judgment when you're in nuclear power? Nah, you must be of good moral standing. And what gives your mugra is your pedigree, your integrity, your ability to. So that's why I'm confused how INEC will tell us with what APC have given us in the last 7 years, with all their failed policies, not even one of their promises have been delivered. And we are still in this kind of situation that they're telling us an APC person won. Of course not. Not with somebody like Peter Obi on the ballot. But because of transactional politics, all those delegates from APC party, from PDP party, where are they now? Exactly, the delegates from my side were sent to vote for Sibanjo, but he came back and told us he had to join the others to collect money or it will be 2-0. He brought the money and used it for develop. Do you blame the man? To develop a secondary school in Kaduna. Do you blame the man? Maybe in his life he has never seen dollar before in a neat envelope. So he asking himself, am I going to make the difference? Okay, if I not collect this money, this man Kukuma go win, or am I Kukuma collect them? God forgive me. So that's the problem. That's why I keep saying, like in my last video, without the armed forces, we can't fight corruption. Ordinary civilians cannot do anything. What are we going to be able, what can we do? Apart from talking on social media, there's nothing we can do. Because what it could have been, or what could have been obtainable is that once there is evidence of dollar sharing, you bring that evidence to the armed forces, they can use it and prosecute these people and say, this person is willing to testify, one man. When Trump got rid of that Secret Service man, the whistleblower, he got rid of him, the man stood trial, his identity was later revealed. Only one man, they began a case. He didn't, of course, he didn't win, right? Because Republicans were in the Supreme Court as well. But at the same time, at least he had a fair trial. He had a fair hearing. But in Nigeria, you call it and say, police, I want to make a report. In the APC primary, they try to buy our conscience, to buy our vote. This is the money they gave me. Police, you say, enter cell. Give me the money, they go collect it. Okay? One man come here and say, collect money. That is your end. Nobody will help you. Because there is no system. The people are not even willing to be civilized. People are not even, like the Nigerian population are not even ready. Because a lot of us, a majority of us are still uneducated. That is why education is key. We need to educate people to know that all these actions are against their own future, against their own children, against their own good. We need to provide people with basic amenities. Let them eat, let them clothe, let them be sheltered, so at least they can have a reasoning sense. When you don't have these basic amenities, you are not thinking right. All you'll be thinking is survivor. So anybody that gives you money becomes your God, unfortunately. I'm trying to make my videos short nowadays, and I'm streaming live on YouTube to see how it will come out. So I'm going to stop here, but at least we get the gist. We need to make our constitution robust to a point that if there is a whistleblower, not the type of whistleblower that AGF is talking about, Abi waiting being Attorney General of the Federation is talking about, that he cannot reveal, but Keneko covering what, twisting what whistleblower, and they thought, okay, provide whistle, at least Senate have right to know who the whistleblower is. So the whistleblower will come and confirm to us whether this is exactly what he told you. But they've covered the case. So we have a lot of things that have been buried, and all this evil keep mounting on the other. The people that know the truth, but you can't come and see the light of the day. So we need to have a robust system, and people that are willing. The good people in Nigeria has to at least be equal to the bad people, otherwise the bad people will always win. And we continue to wallow in this mess. We have 150 million people in multi-dimensional poverty, and 50 million are enjoying. If 150 million people that are in this poverty rise up and say no to all this injustice, no to this transactional politics, we want the best of government, things will be better. I'm going to stop here and see you next time. Please like, watch, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and support me. I would like your ideas. What would you like me to discuss next? I'm focusing on politics and getting what is the best practices. We are practicing democracy by mouth in Nigeria, and we need to get it right. And I pray that God will help P2B to win, because he will be the beginning of a change in the course to a new Nigeria, a better Nigeria, a great Nigeria, not to a PDP era, but what a country should be. Thank you so much, and bye for now. See you next time.